Mic check, mic check, mic check. Testing 1, 2, 3. Right on, right on. I think we're solid here. They don't call him the Anchor Baby for nothing. Where's this little brat? What's up, Brandy, Alias, Hake, Chris, Lower Spike Protein, the 54th Bald Man, Cloud Bop, Store, Lioness. What's up, everybody? You hear me? Okay, good. What's up, Rumble people? Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. What's up, Punchy people? Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. Should be a nice chill. Should be a nice chill show. Should be a nice chill stream here with the people, monitoring the situation. Should be here with the people. I was trying to play some tunes here, you know. I got that. You guys have heard that AI We Are Charlie Kirk thing, right? Like I'm a little late on that, right? At this point it's been meme to all over. Man, we're getting out of control with this. With the AI and the Charlie Kirk, and I'm not against it. I take no sides. But yeah, the AI We Are Charlie Kirk. Damn. Why are you Biden whispering? I don't have my headphones on. I don't know what I sound like. An unrelenting stream of immigrants. It's a good thing. An unrelenting. Hold on. Activating the monitor. This is your captain speaking, the American Anchor Baby. Okay. Should be a nice chill Monday thing. Thanks for joining Friday. Thank you for that, Cloud. Dope stream on Friday. So, yeah, I'm just in the chair today. Just a little bit. I mean, I'm in this crib a little bit. Should be a nice chill thing. Okay. We're back here with the folks. Hold on here. Making sure we're all set here. Amazing. Test. Still can't hear. What's up, JLP Anye? Thanks for being here. Alrighty. Beep beep. In the baby crib. Oh, Kevin Howe. Very good. But Kevin Howe, since you're in the chat, you know what's on my desktop right now? Okay, I don't mean to call, I'm not trying to call out anybody. It's 11 o'clock. Hold on.
Isn't he a Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thanks for tuning in on this fine Monday. What can I say? Back at it again. Hope you had a nice weekend, nice and restful. Out of Control Church with Jesse on Sunday Fellowship. So we get back at it again. What can I say? Had a nice stream on Friday. And there's some things we want to get into. I mean, actually, I guess you know it's a number of crazy topics, in a sense, crazy, whatever you want to call it these days. But it's so interesting. Are you not convinced yet? Are you not convinced yet of the spiritual battle? Of what's actually evil? Do you not understand others as you are to be understood? What did St. Francis say? To understand is to be understood, and to love all something with all my soul. Are you not convinced yet? They're killing their parents. They're shooting up. And they're like, what? Trump is calling it a liberal. It's just a liberal thing. And what he's talking about is anger. And people are out here thinking they're smarter than the devil. What I'm trying to say here now is they think I was also just listening to the Hake Report. Some might think the apparition might say something like, well, Hake, what are you trying to say? Liberals. Oh, you start hating Trump, you're basically going to raise school shooters. But here's the thing. You're missing the standard. You can be angry for far less. What I'm trying to say is no family is above it. It's not like hating Trump, it's anger. And it can happen to any family that hasn't overcome anger. And you don't know how it's going to happen. You're not smarter than the devil. So we're going to get into some stories here. A pleasure to have you here. They're shooting up and all that. You understand, we're going to bring it home here. But you've been listening for years. You're still confused. You're like, what is truly evil in the world? Yeah, anger, baby. And you know what? Let me show you something, actually. I'm back in the crib, right? I'm back in the crib. And here on my desktop is this funny. What were we even doing Friday? We were chilling to the max on Friday. Playing videos. Wait, can you even hear this video? Desktop audio. Desktop audio. Focus. Right. Hold on. Boom. Now I think you can hear this video.
You're mad because your daddy's ugly.
He's not ugly.
He is though. He's ugly. And he's 5'1". Ugly and short at the same time.
Them hands, the boom bam boom thinker, the Tyson nigga out the thumb.
Okay, silly. This is on my desktop, and I'm remembering the chat. You guys were like, obviously joking, right? You guys were obviously kidding around. Poor kid is born violent. You guys are like, born violent. He's this poor kid, you know, there's just no way around it. You know, he's just born violent. And you guys were just messing around, obviously. I'm sure you were messing around. What a mess. I don't know about that stuff. Here's what I know. Isn't that clear to you? Isn't that obvious? You're mad because your daddy's ugly. Evil, angry mama. That's not the clear one in your face. Why? What makes an angry child? What makes an angry child? Huh? You have like example right in front of you. You're mad because your daddy's ugly. He's like, stop it. Stop calling my dad that. Stop it. Smack.
Them hands.
You could say other things. Okay, fine. Born or something like that. Born to be. And where was I here? It was just a funny videos on my desktop. Kind of thematic, actually. With the stuff going on. Anger's such an interesting thing. The reason you're shy is because you're angry. Right? Shy people. One example. You're going around shy. You don't speak, you know, you stay to the back. You say you're like that. You say it's just how you are. But really you're angry. You're pretty judgmental. If you knew what the shy person was thinking, you wouldn't feel so bad for the shy person. If you only knew what they were thinking about everybody. And you're just in your head, all shy. And as hard as you are on yourself, or as hard as you think you are on yourself, you send tenfold to the world around you. I mean, the reason one reaches out to the world for thrills is I'm just remembering conversations. Let me just do this a little bit, okay? We'll get into the news. You reach out to the world for thrills, you're angry. You don't think it goes back to that. You're fearful. Fear. a child of anger. A place of comfort you've retreated to. You're not that big, actually. You wish you could do to others what you think they're doing unto you, but you're not that big. You're not that strong. So you're fearful. But the angry one, outwardly angry one, is fearful as well. They're just reacting to their fear differently. The child who has a strict father, one that's really angry at the strict father and rebels, and the other one who's is not like an individual. They're both angry at the father, but they react differently. You're moved to tears. Moved to tears. You're listening to worship music. And those lyrics are hitting you. It's because you're an emotional person. What are you so angry about? What are you going around judging so much in your life? Anyways, just stuff I was thinking about. They got this guy. And I'm just like pulling this up now. As I was messing around here, I was trying to pull up the Truth Social post. And so they got MAGA. MAGA's breaking with Trump. Classic, right? MAGA's breaking with Trump on mocking the Rob Reiner killing. So let me just move this around here. Rob Reiner. I gotta say, I'm just a little anchor baby. Rob Reiner movies. Have I even seen any of this? Would I have even known? You're sitting around listening to Gregorian chanting. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Channel of Your Peace? Did you clue into those lyrics? Make me a channel of your peace. That's not Gregorian chants. Never mind. I see Spinal Tap. Okay, isn't that Turn It Up to 11? I've seen Spinal Tap. That's one I've seen. But okay, Axios. It's like that. My bad. I didn't know. I didn't check. I must have used my free article or something. President Trump torpedoed MAGA influencer calls for compassion after the killing of Rob Reiner, mocking the longtime liberal activist as a victim of Trump derangement syndrome. And why it matters. Many influencers, MAGA influencers, vowed after the assassination of Charlie Kirk that they would never celebrate or mock the untimely death of a political opponent. Never again. Excuse me. And Trump abandoned that moral high ground the morning after Reiner and his wife were found dead in their Los Angeles home, drawing rare criticism from his Republican allies. You know what's funny? The videos on Jesse's YouTube. No, thank you, Kevin Howe. Thank you. You often do. What was it? The videos on Jesse's channel, they get like 80% approval. They usually get like 99. Okay? They love Jesse. But he talks about Eric Kirk. And the approval rating plummets. Oh, man. Ooh, sorry. It's just... Have you been seeing some of this, by the way? Have you been seeing this?
Jesus wants.
It isn't. It's incredible.
We put our faith in God above.
The work? Well, I don't know. Maybe the really good AI prompting. You gotta maybe put credit where it's due. Wow, JD. Wow.
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith.
That's a weird looking Trump. You been seeing some of this? Wow. I'm getting engrossed already. I'm sorry. What are you guys doing? I'm getting calls. 88. This is AI slop. 844-900-2229. We're gonna get to all the calls here. But man, so I'm showing you some of that side note. Just how people are really there's something weird spiritual about all that. A little much, you know. You can respect the guy. I think a lot of people have seen Charlie Kirk maybe in a way they've never seen, and have been able to appreciate, just like sincerely appreciate like his attitude of free speech and all that, without beyond that fanfare, and just like it could be fine. I'm sure a lot of that has happened. I could believe that. But this is a little nuts, you know. Erica Kirk could do no wrong. All this insanity. It kind of adds to this whole thing here. They're breaking with Trump. He's saying, and then we'll get to calls. We'll get to the shooting and all that. Look, it's also connected. But look, you're by now familiar that, you know, people I really knew, but their son killed his parents, okay? And we got hit with Trump's Truth Social post, which was, like you're seeing, a little left field for people. Where did I put all that? Maggot breaks for Trump. Man, because the actual Truth Social was good. I'm sure they'll have it here. Give me the links. There it is. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump Derangement Syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was shown to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations and of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. I've been seeing a little bit about this guy, Nick. He's the son here, and the guy was having issues young, something like 18 stints in rehab by the age of 22. First one was like 15. The mother would describe him as this like intense child that would burst into her yoga meetings or something like that, and interrupt because he wanted attention. He had to have it. Things I read. You gotta wonder what happens in a family like that. And I see everyone saying, well, this is why you don't. I see some people putting this like wall between them and Rob Reiner. Those that are, let's say, agreeing with the idea of anger. Say, well, yeah, you can be angry. And if you have Trump derangement syndrome, maybe you're like an angry guy. Maybe you're just kind of like an angry guy. And there's some unseen things. And yeah, so that's why I would never do something like that. That's why I'm not deranged like that guy, tweeting about Trump. And it's like the threshold. The threshold is far lower than you. What I'm trying to say here is you think you're like safe because you're not as angry as that guy maybe, but the sins of the father passed down to the kid, as in the unrepentant heart, the anger you pass on grows in your kids. That's why the parents are always shocked with their kids. They're like, I never did that though, but why are you acting like that? And they're shocked when their kids act just like them, but like 10 times 10, the next generation. It's closely related. And yeah, the guy's 18 times in rehab. That's anger. That's all related. That's what Jesse's been saying for years. Do we not believe it yet? he had retreated into this mode of self-pity, into the thoughts, and finds comfort in these drugs, wants to do it his way, hated the rehab. That's what they wrote. I don't know. I'm reading the daily. I'm reading the things about him, and they put out, and like doing some 2016 interview. They tried to do some movie together, right? The kid and the son and the father, expressing all this, expressing how what they went through, the strain that puts on the relationship, and like that emotional up and down. Oh yeah, he says that he goes off into the streets and is homeless because he hated rehab, just didn't want to do it that way. And he's doing this interview, and the interviewer is like, he's talking about reconnecting with his father through this movie. And the interviewer is like, yeah. It's like, he says something like, because Nick says something like, oh, I didn't realize something about my father. I didn't realize he felt like that about me, that he was sorry or whatever. And the interviewer's like, yeah, you didn't realize your dad's Rob Reiner? Like, who cares? Oh, he's Rob Reiner. He's an awesome director. You didn't realize your dad's Rob Reiner? You should have realized that, huh? Then you would have just dropped it and be like, wow, my dad's Rob Reiner. I shouldn't hate him. You shouldn't hate him because the hate is rotting you. It's destroying you. You can't help but blame everybody else for your problems, and you're never going to get better. So it's like decades from age 15, blaming others. Anger. And then after you're old enough for it to be your responsibility, at that point, all you're going back to is anger and how to make yourself feel better. Because, yeah, it's a hard way to live. It's a terrible way to live. You're sitting there angry. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's not a good way to live. Live like that long enough you want to make yourself feel better. We'll get into it more, like the shootings and all that. I know that's the big news. Stuff to get into. I don't want my callers to hold forever and ever. 844-900-2229. I do have John, Kentucky, man. I appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Man, I was lost on that last thing you was talking about.
What do you mean?
Somebody got killed. What's that about?
Oh, I'm talking about I was just talking about Rob Reiner being killed by his son. This was like breaking news today, I believe.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
So, are you familiar with Rob Reiner, by the way?
No, I have no idea.
Are you familiar with The Princess Bride?
Heck no, that's for girls, ain't it?
Stand By Me. I'm just trying to name out movies maybe we might both know.
Stand
The
By
Bucket
Me
List.
is a
I've seen The Bucket List. Stand By Me. I've seen that. I think I've seen that one. When they're on the kids, right, and they go on the train tracks.
Yeah, that's a classic movie. Right
Yeah. Okay, we both seen that. See, I'm not such an anchor baby. I have an American in me.
You're Canadian. You really don't even know what you are.
Don't be rude, sir. Around. I'm a Taino. I'm your brother.
I guess for now, till I find out if your dad's white.
Oh, what?
Spain or not.
So you made me, and you can take me out of this world. Where's the love?
No, that's your mom and dad's job right there.
I guess you're right. What were you saying?
But no, I was just calling to get your opinion on the Turning Point USA and Candace Owens beef.
Oh, okay.
I'm siding with Candace Owens right now, based on me listening to all the stuff over the internet.
And what is it that
I don't know?
What is it that you side with her with?
That I kind of feel the way she feels about all the question marks regarding Charlie Kirk's death, and it seems like Turning Point USA just wants to put a cap on it and end it and not talk about it and just keep making their money and stuff. But she's making money off of it too. I mean, the story.
You mean Candace's?
Yeah, both of them. I guess both of them in a certain
Okay,
way.
so you've been following Candace closely on this?
No, not closely. I just listened to her stuff, and I listened to the Turning Point stuff, and just like everybody else, you get on a story and you listen to other people's opinions about it, and you form your own.
Have you seen Joanna Man? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You seen
Don't
Joanna
tell me
Man?
Rob Reiner. Don't tell me Rob Reiner wrote that movie.
No, but that just flashed into my mind, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe we're more brothers than you think. We saw Joanna Man, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir. That's very rude, because I do want to continue this conversation.
Why are you thinking about transgenders?
No, I was thinking black movie. I wasn't thinking transgender, but it just so happens it's like wait, what?
Why'd you ask me that question though?
Because we were talking about movies, and my head is like operating a little slow. You moved on, and I hadn't, and I'm wrong for that.
Hey, all thoughts are lies all the time. So don't be thinking about men dressing up as women right now. Okay?
That's so true. So Joanna Man, though, we both enjoyed that movie, though. We love that movie. But
I'm not gonna say I enjoyed it. No, I didn't enjoy it. It's not a good basketball movie.
Oh, come on.
I'm a basketball guy. It's not a good. It's not
Joanna
good
Man.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were saying?
I wanted to get your opinion, like.
Oh yeah, Candace Owens. Listen, I wanted to ask you because I know you said you weren't following it that closely, but maybe a little more than I. Is it true some of the following? Caller very quiet. Okay, we got him boosted. Thank you. Tell me if the following's true. Did she make some claims? Did she say that she would debate daily attorney
anywhere, any place?
Yeah. Is that true?
Yeah, she did say that.
You know, because look, I think anybody, even if you make the craziest claims, I think anybody can understand. Literally anybody. The crazier the claim, obviously, the more you, I guess, have to prove it. I guess I don't know, but anybody would at least allow that possibility or the chance. And if she's making all these claims, she's been saying all this stuff. Wouldn't she just show up? She has them responding to her in a sense. They're inviting her. This is the moment she wanted. So it's just strange. That was just wrong. That's the only outward things I've seen. If I were following her closely, maybe I'd think different. But all these outward things that I'm seeing her saying, "Oh, if Erica Kirk told me to stop, I'll stop," and then I think she did say you should stop, and she's like, "Actually, no." It's just moving the goalposts. Very shisty. I'm hearing shisty stuff, and I'm wondering, what have you heard that's so convincing?
You can look at it both ways, like from what you just explained, and also from Turning Point USA when she said that she would do it through Skype or whatever. They should still accept it. They could still communicate and get through different points that Candace has made. But Candace, on the other hand, I feel this is my opinion. I feel that she thinks they'll set her up to kill her if she makes any advance toward Turning Point USA, like being there in the studio. So she wants to distance herself from them and communicate from a distance, and I understand that because she believes that it was a setup and that they offed Charlie Kirk.
So what have you heard from So what have you heard from Candace that's so convincing, though? Why are you so convinced?
The main thing is just the points on Charlie's death, man. Like the way he was shot, like his skin stopping the bullet, man. Come on, his skin stopping the bullet. It stops for me right there.
What do you mean? Explain this one to me.
Okay.
You mean the skin stopping the bullet on the other side? There's no exit wound or something?
Yeah. Right. Like that can't happen. Because if you shoot a dude,
I heard Candace Owens was wrong about everything she said about the entry wound, the exit wound, and all that. And then there's a coroner report. You could just go read it yourself. Have you read that coroner report?
No, I ain't read it.
Do you want to read it together or something? Because it's like, if Candace Owens is not showing you this coroner report, I think you're listening to a woman, and that's misinforming you.
So basically, you're listening to a woman.
Is she just
Erica
throwing
Kirk.
stuff out there? No. I've said nothing that Erica Kirk said. I asked you, did you read this coroner report? Because there's all this talk about entry wound and exit wound. Like you're what, some kind of expert? You shot people in the neck.
I'm
what
not
do you know
some
about
type
this,
of
man?
expert, but I do know. I don't want to be so graphic. I do know what's supposed to happen if he gets shot from a distance like that, and it didn't happen.
See, that comment already tells me that you don't know what you're talking about, because from a distance like that, what are you saying, that the longer the distance, the more energy in a bullet? There's less energy in a bullet the longer the distance.
It would have been an explosion,
I'm already
man.
thinking just from that comment alone, you don't even know physics. Like,
I just think you like to argue. I think you like to argue, but you know that.
No, I'm giving you the chance to tell me something convincing, and I'm not convinced so far. And this is me. This is like a person not convinced in what they sound like. But I do want to give you the floor. Can you give me something that? So the entry wound, exit wound.
Nick, it's
entry wound, exit wound. Come on, man. Who
all
else shot him? Who else shot him?
All you had to say was
a handgun in the. Who was it? Who else shot him? Was it a different gun?
All you had to say was you took the side of.
No, but tell me, was it a different gun? Was it a different angle?
Candace Owens, that's one thing.
I don't know. You see,
What's
you're the one who doesn't want to have the conversation. You're saying if you don't like him, just say you don't like him. That's not pertinent to this.
Do you like Candace Owens?
Yeah, she's fine. She's all right. That's silly. That's not even pertinent to this. You keep switching it. You're like, you don't want to talk about it.
Biasness. It shows your biasness. Y'all don't like Candace Owens in that studio, so why are you lying for, Nick? Come on now. But I mean,
Chad, do you see? You're hearing this, right, Chad?
Yeah, Chad. Y'all hearing this?
So,
hey,
yo,
you know,
how do we deal with this? Very low brow. I don't know how to deal with this. Let's just slow down for a second.
I only got a couple
You're saying
minutes.
you're just right. You're just saying that I don't like her, but that's not. You're not dealing with the actual thing. Is it a different angle? So, anyways,
can I mention something?
You don't even give me something
I don't think you
convincing.
can
Come
hear.
on, say one thing. Say one thing. Say something
Okay,
else.
So look,
make
I'm
one
gonna
point
say
about
something.
something convincing.
I'm gonna say
about
something, okay?
why you were convinced by Candace Owens. Go ahead.
All right, so we all have our opinions, correct? You know the Patrick Bet-David show. You know what that is?
I'm familiar.
He did a poll, and it was who are you taking sides with? Are you taking sides with Candace Owens, or are you taking sides with Turning Point USA? And it was 70% Candace Owens, 30% Turning Point USA. And just that poll lets me know that people are questioning all this stuff. The Turning Point USA just wants to stop. People
But what are they
asking questions.
stopping?
They want to leave it as is. Huh?
What are they stopping, though? You've said not a single thing.
Who stopping?
You said it makes me know that Turning Point is stopping in what they're stopping. What are they stopping?
No, that's not what I
This
said.
is
I said that's
very
not what
low.
I said,
This is what
man. You always-
captures very low IQ
Oh my
minds.
God! Every time I call in, you always try to flip everything. I'm telling
If you don't,
that a
hey,
conservative podcast.
sir, remember last time you called, you hung up. So
No, you hung up
keep
every
doing
single
with
time. I ain't never hung up.
the
I've
past
never
two
hung up.
times.
You
Go
always
back.
hang up.
Hey, let the chat go back if they want to, but that's silly. Who cares?
I
You're
would
not that
always
important.
say- I
You're
would
not that
always
important.
say,
But listen,
I'm gone. I would always say I'm gone.
no,
or something
last
like that.
time you
I
hung
would
up,
hang up out the
you
blue.
couldn't deal with it. People can go back. But
Nick,
listen,
you can't deal with it.
well, sir,
Why don't you do a poll? Why don't you do a poll for your audience and see
why
what
don't
they
you?
say?
No, why don't you tell us something
your
convincing? Why were you?
52
Why
for your
did Candace
52
Owens?
followers.
Why has a woman convinced you so easily? Tell us how a woman has convinced you so easily.
Hey
John,
man, I
tell
think
us
it's
how a
funny
woman has
all y'all
convinced
got
you so
y'all's
easily.
own- Hey,
John,
I
answer
think
the
it's funny
question.
how all y'all
Hey, John.
have y'all's certain
Hey, John.
ways. I know
Hey,
you're
John.
gonna hang up. I
Hey,
know
John,
you're
John.
gonna hang up.
Hey, John.
What?
Tell us
What?
how a woman convinced you so easily.
She's not convinced me so easily. I just have the same questions as she has.
What
Like,
question?
it's a setup.
You've yet to say it. You're just
Okay,
saying it's
okay,
a
I'm
setup,
about to
bro,
I'm about to tell you
and
one.
you just don't
I'm
like
about to
her.
Tell you one, bro. Bro,
Let the
listen,
record
bro.
show that all you've said so far is you don't like
Let the
her.
record show
Let the
that
record
he
show.
won't let me talk.
Let the record show that he says all he said so far is he doesn't like her, and that's it.
All right.
So give us something.
Oh, you
why
have me muted.
were you
You have me
convinced?
muted.
Why were you convinced, John? Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm very fascinated
so-
by this. I really do want to know why are
Listen,
people
you
so
gotta
convinced.
Listen, dude. All right. Why can security not see somebody standing on a roof with a gun, but the people in the audience can see somebody standing on the roof with a gun? It was a setup. Everything's pointing to a setup. That's what I believe. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. That's
Fair
what
enough.
I believe.
There you go. That's an answer. It's kind of silly. I mean,
Well, I had to fight you to let me talk. You've been muting me the whole time.
no, that's not what happened, sir. But
I've been up
hey,
here talking to myself.
that's not
But,
what
hey, I
happened.
gotta
But
go,
thanks.
Man. I got more important things to do.
All right,
I
then.
gotta go.
Peace. Bye bye. 844-900-2229. I'm really interested in knowing, but it's hard to know when they don't even want to say. But I really wanted him to say. So far, but I guess he just said, but bro, like nobody saw him on the roof though, bro. He was killed, inside job. I really wanted him to say. I wanted him to say himself. I don't think. Here's the thing. I wouldn't even need to say anything. He would just talk. It would just be nice. That's what I was trying to make happen. It would just been nice if he just talked and said why he thought Charlie Kirk was killed by maybe not Tyler Robinson and what his theory was. I was like, hey, you have the floor. We really want to know. I want to know what amazing story you have for us. I'd love to hear it, but John just wants to fight, and he baits me too. And he's like, "Do you like her or not? Do you like Candace or not?" And I'm like, "She's fine." Baited. I must be no different than John to be baited. But for my audience, at least I'm doing you the play-by-play, so you know what happened. That's the honest truth. My audience knows that's the honest truth. Yeah, I got baited there, but you know what happened. I'm giving you the play-by-play because you know what happened. I would have loved to have known, because we are itching to hear what theories you have, John from Kentucky. We're itching to hear it. But yeah, I don't know why everyone's so into Candace. It's people close to me, women close to me. Let me be real. Just like enthralled, and I'm like, what's the theory? And this person close to me also can't tell me. I don't know. It's just weird. Break it down for me. I want to know. It's like, I'd like to know if it's so convincing. And then all I get is the trappings of mental gymnastics and insanity. So that's the honest truth. That's the breakdown for y'all. Anyways, the point is, Candace isn't showing up. What's the word? That background makes me feel like I'm playing Doom or something. Low poly backgrounds. But yeah, the drama. Y'all love the drama though. Call Dimba has more important stuff to attend to. Cloud Bob's defending me, circling the wagons. Thank you, Cloud. Circle the wagons, chat. No, do not defend my ego, but chat will defend my honor, though. They will defend my honor, so don't mess with them, John. It's scary. What was this poll? I'm looking at the chat. What's this poll I'm supposed to be doing? Why would I care about that? Why would I care about what you got? Like, if a poll here in my chat says, you guys have anger. Why would I care? Why would a poll? I would be a little surprised, though. I gotta say, I shouldn't have even colored it so much. I wouldn't be. I'll say this about my impressions of chat. I would be a little surprised if I put some poll and said, I don't know, did Tyler Robinson kill Charlie Kirk, or do you believe it was Israel? I guess that's too bombastic, right? Because some aren't saying that. You guys are just open, right? But I mean, why? What's the point? Besides, the only believable thing about it maybe being more planned and like a bigger group than just Tyler Robinson, like him and his lefty friends. He's confessed. You got everybody. You got the perfect breakdown of how it went down. The videos. You got him. You got an easy walkway up there. You could easily get up there and down. You got the firearm, exactly how he got it, who he got it from. So if you, I'm just thinking about chat a little bit. Like, I'd be a little surprised if you're like, official stories BS is all I know. Okay, maybe why you got two mics? One is for the calls, one's for me, one's for you guys. But anyways, it's like, there's been enough time. You know what the point is. The point is there's been enough time for something convincing. Anybody got something? Anyways, you can call me about anything you want. 844-900-2229. I think we got Ohio on the air.
Nick.
Okay. Sir.
Hey, Nick. You hear me?
Loud and clear. Art, Ohio, on the air. Appreciate it, man.
So, man, it looked like, man, respectfully or whatnot, you know, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, but Erica, his wife, is giving me succubus vibes.
Wait,
masculine energy. Succubus vibes. Succubus. Liberal female vibes. Masculine energy female vibes. Liberal female vibes.
I'm following.
Yeah.
Strong female.
Cause I mean, since he's done died, I don't seen her more than I don't ever seen her. You see what I'm saying? She giving me that Hillary Clinton, I want to lead the lunch line vibes. You see what I'm saying?
I got you, man.
And it makes me question. It makes me question Charlie Kirk. You see what I'm saying? Now, how old was Charlie Kirk?
How old was he?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know.
And
31 years old. Died.
Yeah,
he was he was 31.
Yeah. She ain't giving me feminine vibes or whatnot. I don't know too much about what's going on with her or Candace. I won't get into it. It's two females, you know, going back and forth or whatnot. I tend to agree with a lot of what Candace is saying about other stuff, not this situation or whatnot, because I feel like kind of Candace is overstepping her boundaries. But who am I to say what boundaries she's overstepping? I don't know if. And I'm hypothetically speaking, you know, I don't know for sure. I don't know what Candace Owens might have money invested in TPUSA. You see what I'm saying? I keep hearing them talking about, say this about, say you don't have something to do with this money or this and this and this and this and that. Basically, sound like she's trying to question if they are in bed with somebody else or whatnot. So I don't know. You know, it's something that we don't know that is deeper than what they saying.
But like what?
Not, but I don't know. How would we know, Nick? We wouldn't. You know, we would. Well,
it sounds like you somewhat know.
Huh?
It sounds like you somewhat know.
Me?
That's what it sounds like you're trying to say. You're saying, how can we know? How can we know? But it sounds like you know a little bit. Some percentage of you is thinking something's up, and I want to know why. What's so somewhat convincing?
You said say what's so convincing? Say that again.
You're saying that that something's up with Erica Kirk and Turning Point USA.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm saying what I'm seeing as far as with all the interviews. I think she was just on ABC, and that's a red flag for me, because it's like ABC is the ones that's pushing this rhetoric that got your husband killed. The liberal rhetoric that got your husband killed. It just that ain't adding up to me. You see what I'm saying? And then going back to Candace or whatnot, even with her, like what my problem is with her, it's like almost you talking about somebody a married man's or a married woman's dead husband. So I kind of feel where Erica might have a problem with her speaking on it, but that goes back on to my saying, well, who's to know? Maybe Candace or somebody else that she might be involved with might have money invested in TPUSA, and she's crossing her T's and dotting her I's, and trying to make sure. And I'm saying this allegedly or whatnot. I don't know, but it's just a lot of messiness. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like the messiness they got going on, they trying to pull us all into it. You see what I'm saying? To where to make it a bigger narrative. Oh, the Republicans and the conservatives are fighting each other. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, like like an internal fight?
Yeah. you notice how they keep saying, oh, they trying to push that narrative or whatnot, and we have our little disagreement, but they trying to make it seem like, oh, the conservatives, I see them, they're stepping away from Trump. The conservatives are fighting each other, this and this and this and this, and I see it as that or whatnot. They keeping a lot of nonsense going, and then something else you said too. You saying, now if you want me to speculate or whatnot and be a conspiracy theorist, I mean, I can tell you what I really think is going on with the Charlie Kirk situation. Now, if you want me to do that, I can run that to you real quick.
So you go ahead. What do you mean?
Well, I think it was it's a money play. I think that the Charlie Kirk was the head, and as an old street saying goes, or whatnot, I learned this when I was in the street hustling or whatnot back in the day, that the hood feed the mice and let you get fat. They smile in your face, bite you over, feed you, let you drink with them and stuff, feed the mice, and then they feeding you to get you fat so they can feed you to the snake. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like speculation-wise, that might have been what happened to Charlie Kirk. He was in bed with some big people or whatnot, and it was a money grab.
And why do you believe this?
I'm not saying that I believe it. I'm just saying, I mean, I can see how it could. What else be other reasons why stuff like that happen besides money and just
can there be
something political?
In the world of possibilities, when there's lots of money at play, can there be palace intrigue and treachery? Sure, but it's just not a line of thinking I would think without any reason. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, again, and you're not the one making these claims, by the way, but just the weirdness about the circumstances of his death. Again, you'd have to just tell me why you're speculating such a thing. You'd have to tell me why, and not just to say there's a possibility of treachery. But I mean, if you want to make a claim,
I'm about to tell you everything you see me saying. Well, my first thing is just like we already know. You got a whole bunch of alleged conservatives that we know is liberals, and they trying to call themselves conservatives. And where else would you be? Where else but a better place to plant yourself in a young movement like TPUSA, where you got a lot of 31 and under impressionable males that ain't never really lived life. You see what I'm saying, or whatnot? That ain't no different than the hood kid that ain't had a dad around or whatnot. You gonna go and typically put yourself around other males, which is a gang, to get that love that your father didn't give you. You see what I'm saying? So
that's what I see Erica Kirk doing on her own. And maybe there's some deeper conspiracy that has installed her, but I think it's just as explainable by just the ego of a woman. She's just like, you know what, my husband died. They did this to us. And you got enough people around you. Look, they're making the AI videos. You got enough people around you saying, hey, Charlie Kirk is the most important thing ever in his spirit. We got to keep it going. And she's like, you know what, I'll do it. So, it's that basic, I think.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, though.
My opinion too, or whatnot. This is just me from the outside looking in or whatnot. So, just like I said, you got young impressionable people, and I just know the tactic or whatnot. They try to either, if they can't remove you or wait for the money, which couple ways they do it is by jail or death. You see what I'm saying? So
who's they in this case?
Well, just the powers that be. You see, it's just the same tactics that they used on Trump in through 2016 all the way up until now. It's just the tactics they use. The tactics ain't changed. What the Bible say? Ain't nothing new under the sun, brother.
Treachery.
We all know what the Bible is. Ain't nothing new under the sun, brother. Ain't nothing
Human
changed.
nature, treachery. Yep.
Yeah, the Bible tell you everything that you need to know. And most of the Bible is talking about females turning on the men. The first story about Adam and Eve was a female turning on a man. Long story short, that's just my speculation. A lot of stuff just ain't adding up or whatnot. You got a whole bunch of people or whatnot, ship jumping, doing a whole bunch of pandering or whatnot. Charlie might have actually believed his message or whatnot, but who's to say you don't got a whole bunch of liberal undercover rhinos that really they only following you because the money's good. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You believe in a lie or whatnot. Not saying he's lying, but you really don't believe what he's saying, but you putting yourself around him because the money's good. And it don't do nothing but breed envy and jealousy. You see what I'm saying? That's all. That's all that type. And I'm just speculating. I mean, I could be wrong, but how?
No, that's fair. No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Like speculating, I guess. But this is the reason I ask these questions because if you're gonna, in my opinion, it's like I don't know if it's like a standard of proof, but I try to have a high standard because just mere speculating without that is just what? What? It's
and
like
your boy
it's
was
maybe
your
wrong.
dude. Your dude who just called, he was right. I get that same vibe too from them. It seemed like TPUSA want everybody just to shut up and not ask questions or whatnot. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting the same vibe that the last caller said. That they just want people just to not think about it or whatnot and just give up thinking about it or whatnot. And I'm thinking in my back
But
of my
that's not
head.
what he was saying. It wasn't even what he was saying.
That's
It
what he
wasn't
said
clear.
when you was that's what he was saying when you was asking him what did he mean when he was saying something, and that's what I rewinded the tape, the part where he was saying that's what he said before y'all was going back and forth at each other.
True.
I typed it in the chat too. But I mean, I just see her or whatnot, and I think she talking too much for her. And people say, "Oh, that's how she might grieve or whatnot."
I don't understand that
But
though. If they're the one who are inviting Candace Owens and they're inviting people to come and talk about it publicly, why are they? Why are you getting an impression that they're trying to shut people up?
Well,
And
I mean,
Candace Owens is the one that didn't want to show up and is saying, "Oh, and moving the goalposts and changing all this stuff." If they again, I'm not following this like you guys, but if Turning Point USA, you're like, "This is so weird. This is so weird, Nick. I don't know, and I don't know why you're acting like that." It's like it sounds like you don't like Candace. It's like what is but they're the ones that invited her to speak, right? Unless I'm getting that wrong. They invited her to speak openly on an open panel. Why are you getting the impression that they want to shut people up?
So I mean, so you saying that TPUSA/Erica's been inviting Candace to come speak about it?
Correct, publicly.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
And she
CNN,
curved it. She curved it. She dodged it.
CNN, well, I mean, because CNN, MSNBC invite Trump to come on there and talk all the dang on time, but that don't mean that the host of the CNN don't direct the conversation in the narrative, and every time Trump is trying to explain a question that they ask, they cut him off. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you can.
But I have no reason to assume that about TPUSA. TPUSA is not CNN. They're responding to these allegations, and Candace has put them in that position, and they said, "Fine, let's talk about it." What makes you? Why would you get any impression that they're trying to shut people up? You're saying even if they host a panel, CNN does that all day, but they still control the narrative. But why assume that about TPUSA? I want to know where you're getting this impression.
I mean, I just can't think of right off the top of my head what incident or what I heard or seen or whatnot. I mean, I have to, but that is definitely the type of vibes that I'm getting from that, though. That they are or whatnot, And I'm not against Erica or I'm not against Candace Owens. I really just don't care. I just wish the truth be told, I'm getting tired of hearing the females talk. Truth be told.
Word. But what did they say again? What did they do to make you think that? To say that I understand the vibe. You're saying I get the vibe that they want to shut people up. And so what did they do?
I said I can't remember what I seen or heard on YouTube that made me come to that conclusion, come to that feeling.
I do remember you saying that now. My apologies.
I just get those vibes.
Yeah.
I had to probably go back and look at a couple things or whatnot. And one thing I know, just like they said in the chat, one thing that I did see this seemed like they more mad at Candace Owens than the actual person that allegedly killed Charlie Kirk. And that's one thing. Just off of somebody in your chat. That's one thing. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of little things that's coming together to make a collective. But I ain't gonna hold you too much longer. You got your good show going on.
Call me again, sir.
I just want to come in and give you my 2 cents or whatnot. God bless the Mr. Kirk, his wife, and God bless America, and thank you for having me. I appreciate the call. I'll catch you later, Nick.
Take care, sir. Call me again.
Yes, sir.
What are you guys saying here? Hold on. What are y'all saying here, chat? You guys giving me a hard time for being the only reasonable person here. Wait, no, hold on. You guys are... That's just maybe the vocal few. I'm sure the reasonable masses... that's not common either. I'm sure there's some who are maybe reasonable here and understand some of what I'm saying. Here's the question. To summarize, look, you're confused. Some of you are confused. The question to answer is, if they're trying to silence and being so conspiratorial, I mean, of course, besides the obvious one, which is if you have any facts or proof to make you believe that the Charlie Kirk assassination is not on the up and up and who's actually behind it, you know, it's like, just say it, but okay. Besides the obvious, the question to answer is if they're trying to hide a conspiracy, Turning Point USA, why have they opened up the floor to Candace and everything, and to bring him on? Why has she denied that? You guys are getting duped by some loudmouth black woman liar. Okay. Just like just saying anything. What's the stuff I've seen with Candace? Just saying anything. William, California, sir. I have you on the air, man.
What's up? How you doing, Nick?
All is well, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Let me say this. Maybe this is kind of like some tabloid stuff. This is two women arguing. And there is a living trust. And I would think that Erica Kirk would be the trustee of the trust. And then you also have Candace Owens was involved at one time. You never know what these girls are arguing about, man.
She was part of what, you said?
Did you hear what I said?
That Candace was part of what at one time?
She was part of Turning Point at one time. And,
yeah, I do.
I'm sure they had on paper who was to take over. I'm sure early on those two put on paper who was to take over if something happened to one another.
I think I heard about that.
I think, yeah, I've heard about it too. There is a living trust. The company is worth about $85 million, and so Erica is, no matter what was said early on, that changed when Charlie got married. So I'm thinking that Charlie's wife is the trustee of the estate, and this is something that, a lot of stuff we don't, this is stuff that we don't know about. We don't never know what them two women are arguing over.
I heard a similar thing, that she was entrusted, that she was always meant to be entrusted to many things, I think, here with should Charlie's...
She's going to be the trustee.
Yeah, something should Charlie, for whatever reason, not be able to. I think I had heard that she was named to like a trustee and something like that. And I'm sure he never expected it to be so soon or whatever. I'm sure no one expected it for it to be like this, but I did hear similar things. You're right.
Yeah, and what they drafted at first before he got married and had kids probably is a lot different than what Erica has in her hands, because I would think, like I said, she is the spouse. She would more than likely be the trustee of the estate, and they're worth almost $100 million in cash, and then that doesn't count the assets. So it's not a cheap company or whatever it is.
Right, like there's a, of course, very valuable company, a lot of money going in and out.
Right. I mean, I gotta.
And
I gotta trust,
the command, the influence they also had too. The reach and influence is another, maybe a harder to quantify asset that they held. I'm sure Turning Point USA.
Well, I have a trust, but I don't have wife and kid. So what does that mean? There would be some people with their hand out once I die, because they don't really know who's in the trust and what my last wishes are. But don't you think that would change if I had a wife all of a sudden? So, I mean, we don't know what these girls are arguing about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's conspiracies of Charlie, but anyways.
Yeah. And this theory and conspiracy theories are ridiculous. And I mean, what did Johnny Boy say? You think it's a setup? No, you wish it was a setup. The man got shot. He died. That's it. Oh, the bullet entered. Come on. That's tabloid. That's, to follow these two ladies in this case is, woman stuff.
I think people definitely, maybe it's a lack of imagination, or really just like a real simple mind. It's just like you have to make like maybe a more grandiose story to make sense of this. But I think I saw Cernovich say something like this: "We've infantilized men," when the truth is any man with enough motivation can acquire the tools and skills to do terrible things, and there's not like a defense everywhere in the world for that. It's just not like that. We don't have a world that's built up like that. Law enforcement.
Yeah.
They should have seen him up there. I mean, we don't have a world that's like he's going across the country to all these campuses. We don't have a world that is always defending should there be a shooter on the roof, because it's actually doesn't happen often enough, because you have to be this individual with such anger and so motivated to do it. But this dark, shocking, nasty secret is that it's not much. It's not much. Anybody with enough motivation can just hurt any one of us, and it's terrible to say. I don't even like repeating such a thing.
It could happen.
So it doesn't. You don't need big governments and big conspiracy.
No.
Right. So you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Just like that thing that Johnny bring up. I think it's a setup. You want it to be. Because there's nothing there. The man is dead. That's it. And more than likely, something that big, there's a living trust. We have people with living trust that don't even have that much. So there's a trust. There's some arguments on trustee and beneficiary, I guarantee you. And they both actually changed after they had kids. Candace Owens hasn't been all that since she's been having all them kids. And you know what that is? That's women, man. John, why are you following gossip? That ain't nothing for them getting involved with all the stuff that we got going on today.
Terrible gossip.
Coming from the person that tried to tell you when I made the statement the other day, I ain't gonna let that go either.
Oh, you said what?
Said remember I told you black people haven't even they don't really know how to master boats. They've never conquered or colonized anything. Not that I know of.
Okay,
he comes back.
They never dealt with the water.
With something. Yeah. He said Spain or something, dude. And you're reaching back to the 1420s. Dude, those people are fossils. They're oil now. I'll probably burn them in my car every day. It doesn't matter. We said black people could not make it in this country without the white man. Johnny can't make it one day without the white man, because the currency that goes in his bank account has white man's face on it. And also when he calls in, he's always got to go. Why do you have to go? Because your white daddy's calling you.
Oh, I get it. That's
your
kind of funny.
Daddy
I think
calls every time you call. Every time. There's no other callers but him.
What I like about that is like what I get about that. What I get about what you're saying is how you should have you should be grateful. You should be grateful a sense
Real
of should have
grateful.
gratitude in all things, and the things you're saying are the exact things that he would hate having gratitude for, when he should.
He didn't have a voice until Biden came or Obama. He really doesn't know. You know, yeah, you probably should be a little bit more grateful and everything, because what he's following does not have a flag or land
And you
or
know,
country
yeah.
or territory.
And to even be a little fair to him, because I agree, like, who cares about all that? Look, Spain, let me fight about Spain and all that. And it's, like, not even true. You're telling me some of the facts are wrong and all that. But,
Probably
to be a little fair to him, the point of his call for that moment, it was because he was saying, like, he was assuming that I would even care about there existing a black nation or not. He literally assumed that if he gave me the facts of a black nation that existed, that I would just deny it because I hate black people. And that's not even on my mind. You have the wrong thinking. Like, you're lost in the wrong narrative here. Like, if it's true,
right.
it's true. And then and why do you have to prove it so hard? Why do you have to work so hard to prove it? It makes me think otherwise. But hey,
and what does it do for you now?
Thank you.
You're talking about something that happened in the 1420s. Black people went to Spain. Well, they don't have it anymore, do they? We were talking about civilization. Something in the the past that's not 1420. Okay, they have not built anything past, and I'll say it again, blacks in Africa didn't build anything past 2 floors until Europe and the West came over there. They don't even have that many ports for ships. 3, I think they got 3 major ports in the continent of Africa, as big as that country is. So they have a problem with
I've heard that on the internet. So that's like true. Like, they didn't build 2-story buildings or something like that. There were no 2-story
not
buildings.
really. You can't count Egypt.
Definitely not,
They ain't Africans. So don't. No.
I'm just saying, I've heard that before. I never knew if it was true or not.
What country have black people colonized and it was successful? Go ahead, I'll wait.
I'm not an expert. I'm not a historian. I don't have all the facts.
You want to? Well,
but I just don't. I don't know is the answer to you.
Ask dumbass Ike and Ronnie and Baldman. They're going to give you a basic answer because they don't have the answer to that. How many countries have blacks colonized? Just because the white man knows how to build it. Because the white man knows how to build a boat that you're jealous.
Yeah.
Because the white man knows how to build a boat, and he went to Africa and got slaves. So what? So what? History, whatever. It's done. Why didn't you
I heard they
build
were all
a boat
slaves, so I think we can move on from that
and
one.
Get you some white. Why didn't you colonize and build a boat and go get some white slaves?
Right, they were all slaves, right? So I think we can move on from that.
Everybody.
Everybody was a slave. So okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was, can black people make it without the white man? He can't make it 10 minutes on the phone with you without saying, I gotta go. Who do you think is on the receiving end of that?
It's called
a
responsible
white
man.
I
only like it. I only like it because it's like, I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he is grateful for his boss. Maybe he's grateful for his boss. Hey, maybe he respects that one. You know how it's like you hate white people, but it's like, I always have people that you like, even if they are, even if you hate them. Maybe he respects his boss.
Let me tell you.
And he does a good job at work. Maybe.
Or any black person that thinks or talks like that, they're losers, and they've been raised by them.
That is loser mentality, sir. Come on.
The hell you got to do with something in 1420?
Ridiculous.
And those people are like oil, fossils now. They don't even have grave sites. This is how long this. It goes back to 14. Shut up, Johnny. And what does that have to do with us right now?
That is the question. That is the true question of it all.
So you haven't been a successful offspring for so many years that as soon as you get a chance or some freedom to speak on white folks, at one point in time you couldn't say nothing.
That is the question, though. I mean, someone literally called me and said something about, oh, don't look at people today. Look at what they look at all the great things they used to do, or something like that.
Yeah.
Something
yeah,
insane,
look at all the
William,
great
but
things they used to do. Yeah.
blaming
yeah.
and victimhood.
And look at all the great things. And look at all the great things they're doing now.
That is the only question that matters.
You know what I said? And look at all the black excellence, great things they're doing now.
Right. 100%.
We talk about them because we talk about them if we want to.
Thanks, William. That's so true.
Yeah. Okay, man. Take care.
Call me again, sir.
I will.
844-900-2229. Okay. Blaming? Really? Blaming, really? You really gonna blame right now? Okay, who do we blame for this?
Viral. Supermarket cart grill is on fire. Viral. Look at the line. Look at the line. I told y'all. Look at the line. She feeding everybody, making sure everybody's good. Nah, I ain't doing that. You respect this woman. Anyway, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the, yo, but she got competition now on the other side. Look. Supermarket cart grill is on fire. Viral. Look at the line. Look at the line. I told y'all.
Excuse me?
Look at the line. She feeding.
Who do we blame for this one? Give me a plate, then deport yourself. I don't know. I don't think I want a plate. You want a plate of this, Cloud? You want some shopping cart grilled? You want some shopping cart grilled mystery meat, street meat? Huh? Give me a plate, then deport yourself. No, I don't know if we ever want a plate. I'm good. Shopping cart mystery meat.
Supermarket cart grill is on fire. Viral.
Viral.
Look at the line.
That's the crazy part. They got a line. So maybe you're onto something, Cloud Bops. The one thing I didn't see is I saw the line, but I decided to ignore the line in responding to you. Is there not more? Is there not more a selling point than customer reviews, a long line? I don't know, folks. I don't know. I don't even care, even with the line. Unless the line is crazy long. Imagine if the line was really long and maybe it was like a bunch of, I don't know, like hipsters. White hipsters. Let me be specific. White hipsters with mustaches and mullets and their girlfriends and their diverse girlfriends. Hot girlfriends with the IBS. Whatever, cute, whatever. Look, you know what I'm talking about, right? City slicker, city. They go to university. I go to university. I have a job and I live in the city. Look, you've seen them maybe. If I saw them, I might have to line up. But what's up with this lineup? This lady, shopping cart mystery meat, has a line. They have a line. This is in America. That accent makes me think New York. Maybe. Can we? I'm trying to get more data on this line. What kind of people are lining up here?
Fire, viral. Look at the line. Look at the line.
Look at the line.
I told y'all. Look at the line.
Okay.
She feeding everybody, making sure everybody.
Mexican, Hispanic, some sort of thing. Some sort of Hispanic Mexican lady. I don't know. Not Asian, not black, right?
You respect this woman.
What do we got here? We got what are we looking at? Looking like I'm seeing some maybe deep Hispanic phenotypes. I'm thinking some deep Hispanic phenotypes in the lineup as well, but it's hard to see because the guy should have. It would be nice to see more of who was in the line. Look at the line.
I told y'all. Look at the line. She feeding anyway. Look at that. Look at that.
The line is the insane part, right? That means there's an economy here. There's an economy here of these people. You understand? Oh, that's so insane. Why are you chopping up a chicken in the streets? Because I have a line of people who want to buy it, dummy. And now you look like the idiot. And now I'm the dummy. Now I'm the arse. There's an economy, a market for it, dummy. Who do we blame for this one? Let me think. Just steel portable grill frame. Let's just Google it. Look, you're joking. $5, $5. Right? $100. $100. Just get the shopping cart. Just get the shopping cart. It's what kind of shopping cart is that, dude? Is that even safe? Is that even food safe? What kind of metal is shopping cart grills? Can you even put fuel in these? Steel portable grill frame propane. Look at this. Look at this. $100, $300, $60. Something, man. Something. She stole the shopping cart. I don't know, folks. I hear you can't sell raw milk. People are saying you do this with raw milk and suddenly you got the government all on you. I don't know, guys. You shouldn't be drinking that stuff. It has bacteria. You should honestly pasteurize it. That's not safe. I don't know about that, guys. I don't know about the raw milk. You ever seen like the Mennonites do like, what was it? What did I see it? Milk tour. And they'll like have the guests who come do the tour drink milk straight from the udders. They're laughing. I don't know if it's just me. I swear they're laughing. And they don't do it themselves. I swear they're laughing. They're laughing at the tourists. Where was that video? What was it? Amish milk. Let me just type Amish milk. Wait, let me just be careful. I swear I just saw one. It was so funny. And then the tourist lady, she's like from the city or something. She's like, "Do you want some?" She's like, "Do you want to try? Do you want some?" And the like farm girl was like, she did one of those. I don't know if I'm tripping here. The raw milkers are about to go nuts here in the chat. Raw milkers about to go nuts in the chat. We got Ronnie, Ohio. How you doing, sir? An absolute pleasure.
My God, Nick, how you doing today?
No complaints, no complaints.
Yeah, well, I
Chilling
got
with
one.
the people. All is well.
I didn't have any complaints until your boy Beta Voice Box called in.
What happened?
It gets under my skin when I hear him. I don't even know what the word is. It seems like a self-hate. I don't know what expectations he has for black people, what they could do to make him happy. Not so grumpy. He sounds like a grumpy old black man that's upset that he's black.
You talking about my caller, William? That's
Beta Voice Box.
But
You
that's
can hear
like
the beta in his voice box.
That's a bit of a characterization. Are you judging him?
No less than he's judging the black people around the world.
Is that a reason to judge him?
Irrelevant.
Why?
It's irrelevant. I can't tell you why it's irrelevant. It's just irrelevant.
But it's very relevant. In terms, it's very relevant to the question of, is that a reason to judge others just because they're judging? I think it's a very pertinent and relevant question to life.
I don't think pointing
And if we
out
don't
a fact
answer it,
is
you get school
judging.
shootings. But go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, I don't think pointing out a fact is judging. So it's kind of it's tough to answer a question if I don't agree with the
Oh, so you're
framing.
okay. So you're backing up. You're saying you're actually not judging him because you said, you said you were judging him as much as he's judging other black people.
I said no more than he would be judging other black people.
So right. So you're judging him.
No, if I am judging him, it's no more than he judges other black people. So if him judging other black people wasn't an issue for you, then what I'm saying shouldn't be an issue for you either.
Is him judging other black people a reason to judge him no more than he's judging other black people?
Me calling him Beta Voice Box is not based on him judging other black people, so it's irrelevant and not even related.
Well, we can move on. I'm just was going by what you were saying because you said no more than he's judging other black people. I'm just wondering, is that a reason to judge others, just because even if it's no more than they are judging others? Is that a reason to judge them? But okay, you're saying you're not judging them or whatever. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm saying you didn't hold him accountable for judging black people around the world, and then you want me to answer a question about judging.
Well, that
him
didn't
when
come
I'm
up.
Not judging him, and you kind of getting hung up on it.
Well, that didn't come up because
you didn't at all come at him for judging black people around the world throughout history. You just kind of let him run with it.
And how's he doing that? I may have missed it.
You didn't hear his call?
Well, I remember his call, and
said?
I remember. Let me tell you honestly, like, because I've been talking to Willem over the years, and I honestly think about many callers, and it's just like a judgment. I do accept that it could be like just a judgment, but I think often, I wouldn't say things like that, and I wouldn't say. Because I'm thinking, because I'm already thinking about what they truly mean, and sometimes I think what people truly mean is that they're judging and they're actually kind of mad or something. And I'm often wrong about that, so that's why it's nice to ask questions, just talk it out. But let me just tell you why. Let me just tell you, like, when I hear what he was saying was, that people should work hard, and I'm just I honestly, if there was judgment there, I missed it. I want to hear what you think here. What was the judgment that he had against blacks?
If the only thing he had said was people need to work harder, or black people, even if he said in particular black people need to work harder, I would have taken no issue with what he said at all. But that's not all that he said.
Well, let's go ahead. Tell me what it was though, so that we don't spend like forever on other people's calls and all that. But it is an interesting topic. I think it's a fair topic. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so one thing he mentioned was the state of the continent of Africa. It's not just one country. It's one of the biggest land masses. There are currently 54 countries, and all but 2 of them were colonized by France, England, Portugal. Belgium had a little bit. Italy had a little bit. So when he says things like black people don't have any ports in Africa, or there are only 3 black ports in Africa, he's completely ignoring the scramble for Africa and the fact that the entire continent almost was colonized. And then to flip it and say what countries have black people colonized, as if colonizing countries is a good thing, is just stupid. And I would expect more out of a grown man.
But how's that a judgment? If he's wrong, he's wrong. And it sounds like you're saying he's not wrong, but it sounds like you're just saying, okay, it's true there's only 3 ports, but you didn't talk about how evil white people were and colonization.
No, that's not what I said.
And not only that, and also, how can a grown man be okay with colonization? I mean, is it good or does it have to be good or bad? It was great. Let's be real. It was if anybody else could have done it, they would have done it too.
What was great?
Colonization. It was great in its scope without giving it like a morality of good or bad. It was great. It was you know what I mean? Like it was in its scope and what it affected and what it achieved and what it did. It was great in that sense, if I may, without giving it like a morality, like good or evil. It was
I'm not removing good or evil from the equation of taking people's land and then capitalizing on it. I'm not removing the evil part from that.
Whose land?
Good Lord. I'm not going to go there with you today.
No, but whose land? I mean, if you talk about South Africa, then it's like there's very interesting stories of colonization all the way through, and there's varying things, and that's just the honest truth. There's all the way, and all the races too, by the way. If you want to go back far enough, all the races, there's stories all the way from slaughtering people, taking land, to hey, we found it and there was nobody here, and we're like white people surrounded by black people. You know, I'm thinking South Africa. That's just crude. That's just my crude summary of some of these things. But I mean, come on. You're just to assign it as all evil. You said colonization is always stealing land. It's not even true. You're saying you characterize it as always stealing land. That's not even true.
Are two different things. That's what I'm saying to you. If you discover something where nobody's living and you're not displacing people, that's one thing.
Oh.
If you go in where there are a group of people and you separate them, you destroy them of their language, you ship them out to different parts of the world, and then in 2025. You still have an influence there.
Oh, I guess that's different than colonization.
You still own the mines that they operate in. When that's still going on, it's not what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. Like just the definition of those words to communicate with people. I think right when you just find an area, that's not necessarily colonization, right?
Right.
But even the colonization,
I'm not
wasn't
on discovery. But
I got you. I may have gotten that wrong.
Thing.
But even the colonization, as you described it, is
he's asking for.
Do you like your life,
black people
Ronnie?
Colonizing something as if that's a good thing for the world.
Do you enjoy your life?
Do I enjoy my life?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
is there a follow-up?
Isn't that thanks colonization? Thank you, colonization. There's a direct line from colonization to your life. Why?
Stupid.
Wait,
that's called being resilient.
Am I being stupid? Well, maybe I'm being stupid, but I want to hear why. Why is that dumb? I think you could draw a line. You could draw a line from colonization to the life that you're enjoying.
You could draw that line, and you would be perfectly fine and well within your right of doing that. Where you would be wrong is in drawing that line if you still expect people who live in colonized parts of Africa to all of a sudden shed the colonization and just stand up on their own 2 feet. That would be stupid. That's what I'm pointing out.
How are you so sure that that's the problem? They merely need to shed colonization.
Trying to figure out the best way to point that out to you.
Fair enough. Please, the floor is yours.
A couple weeks back, we had a conversation about what makes America America, and I pointed out how the United States does not have an official language of English. If you go to different parts of Africa, unless you're in Ethiopia or Liberia, the places that have never been colonized, you're going to find French-speaking people, Portuguese-speaking people, English-speaking people. So you can't tell me that Africa is still Africa, even though a bunch of them speak French and Portuguese, based on your argument about language needing to be a part of the culture. And if people aren't speaking English in America, then it's no longer America. You can't say that Africa is still Africa, even though those people have been stripped of their religion and their language, and they don't even get to own the means of production on their own land. So to point at them and judge them is stupid. And I would say it's irresponsible on your part to not point out William being stupid when he's being stupid.
Well, with William, I mean, he was just saying like, no, that's all I got from him. Seriously, like, yeah, whatever the facts about Africa and this and that. To get hung up on that, you'd have to like just ignore what he means, and you gotta know that people say things, but then it's like they also mean what they're trying to mean. He's reacting to all the blaming that's going on, even on just this show today with just callers. So that's how I take that, and I can't just assume. What a terrible thing to just ignore such a truth because he may or may not have some judgment on blacks and otherwise. And I'm not even saying that he does. It's just, why not just take it one at a time at face value? And what he's saying there, he's responding to black blame and victimhood, and that's silly. That's not going to help anyone. And the same thing goes for them across the world, and including Africa. I don't know the facts like maybe you, but it's been nothing but, I hear nothing but requests for aid. They talk about even They talk about colonization and apartheid and all that to this day. And what do I see people here around me personally and beyond, because we have the internet and we have footage and we have all this and that. I see nothing but people blaming. And what are those people's lives like? Terrible. What are their areas like? Terrible. What have they done with their lives and stuff and anything that the little that they did have? Nothing. And so I'm not so surprised. So I don't find it a compelling. I don't find any of this compelling I don't find it compelling. What's compelling is, what can you do today? And I think so far, I mean, I appreciate some of the facts maybe you have that I don't, but like even the port thing you said, but Nick, you didn't even call me to tell me they do have more ports, Nick. That's not true. You didn't even call me to tell me, look at what they did build. No, you called me to tell me, no, Nick, the reason they didn't build is because of blah, 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 racism, colonization. I just don't find that story compelling. I'm done with it.
Yeah, so my goal wasn't to convince you or change your mind or anything. It was to give the context that William failed to give. Is if black people have been living in Africa for centuries and have just never done anything with the things that they have. My point is to point out to you the gold, the ivory, the lumber, the things that the natural resources that Africa did have was taken from them. And that's how England was able to become prosperous. France was able to become prosperous. Portugal was able to become prosperous. Belgium, you spoke on South Africa. Belgium was able to get some prosperity because of what they did in South Africa. And now China's there, building their infrastructure and taking advantage of that as well. So to look at Africa and point at Africa as a continent and say, y'all don't own enough ports is stupid. I don't know how you missed that.
It sounds like a fact. It sounded like a fact. But okay, thank you, Ronnie.
You said it sounded like a fact that there are only 3 black-owned ports in Africa?
Right, and you've called me to note and you called me to confirm that. But the reason is because of racism or colonization.
I'm not confirming or denying it. I haven't counted how many ports in Africa are owned by black people.
So then why is it stupid to say that?
If the land mass has been owned and controlled by England, France, and Portugal, how the heck would black people own any ports in Africa?
Because that's all over. I don't know.
Because that's all. What? You didn't answer the question.
Because it's all that's over.
If Portugal and France and Italy and England and Belgium have controlled the continent of Africa for centuries, how would you expect black people to own 50% of the ports?
Because it's all over, and they've had a chance to do that now. And instead, they're still crying
know nothing
apartheid.
About the history of Africa. To draw that conclusion, you clearly know nothing about the history of Africa.
It sounds like I know as much as you.
It doesn't.
It does. Well, maybe it's something I don't know. But listen, man. Anything else you want to speak on before we move the wheels?
Africa. Anytime, it's called the Scramble for Africa. If you need to look further into it and you want to learn more, I'm not saying that you do.
Yeah.
It might be a topic that you really don't care much about. But I only called in because Beta Voice Box, for like the 5th or the 6th time, has called in and talked about Africa not having buildings that were 2 stories high, as if that's some significant mark of growth of a civilization or something.
It's something. It's some kind of metric. Sir, I appreciate the call, Ronnie. Go ahead.
And the metric I use is looking at the fact that those people have survived centuries of colonization, centuries of countries taking advantage of them, and they're still here.
Yeah, and there's a path forward for all people, in my opinion. I mean, I just don't know it all, but I mean, with my crude understanding of these years and looking at the world, I mean, why is it so bad? Why is it so? Well, here's what I'm trying to say. Because you were bringing up like their language. They just need to throw off colonization. Then it'll be okay. Return to what? Return to like some language and their true identity or something like. I've heard these languages are not very good. They don't even. Have you seen that guy going around Africa showing how Igbo and what's the other language? Igbo and this other language don't even have the words for maintenance, words for these simple words. They don't even have those words. Like, I know this is just a random, maybe kind of like overarching point. I'm not even kind of sort of stretching here, but I'm just thinking, if the path forward, in my opinion, is forgiveness. The path forward is forgiveness. Imagine one of these people just taking what they had, the Portuguese that was left with them, the infrastructure that was left, and moving forward. But it's all I hear is just constant like, what that was done to us. You know, it makes me think that you believe, like, let's say if I showed you the homeless people on the streets of America, like you would. I wonder if you believe what they're just they just need to have they just need to be given stuff and they'll be productive tomorrow. They need to get rid of what's their oppression, you know? I think it's the exact same thing going with all people. And if you don't work, you don't eat. And if you get taught otherwise, that gets worse. And only pain fixes it. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that the homeless people on the streets of California have been colonized by the French for 600 years. I can say that about people that live in different parts of Africa, though. So it's a different story.
Ronnie, can you call me again?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Have a good rest of your week.
Take care, sir.
Yep.
And a Merry Christmas to everybody. A big Merry Christmas to everybody. I don't know. I'm stuck on the spirit. I'm stuck on, like, I feel like it's the same spirit. It's the same spirit. Like, someone in Africa, poor, and, like, I don't know what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. Like, just poor and mad, blaming apartheid and the homeless here. You know, these countries, too, I mean, they're messed. How do I put this? Imagine such corruption that, I don't know how to put this, like that unemployment levels go. We have so many assumptions about our world, and we live kind of comfortably in that way. Like employment, you know, how do I put this? Like, it seems like you should be able to tell even any African, dude, you got to go and just print out your resume and go and keep looking everywhere. Just go everywhere and you'll find work. What I'm trying to say, look, if you're useful, you can find use anywhere. But the hell, I mean, the problems in those countries, I gather are like a degeneration of a long time. It takes a while to get there. Okay? And so they got to work on it in a big way. I don't know what to say. Oh, yeah. I mean, I forget what the overarching points were. There were some, but like the idea is, I guess, essentially, they need to just throw off colonization. This should be almost like old news. Why are we talking about this old news? But you know how much this thinking prevails? It prevails so much that they'll have school shootings, like this Brown one. They'll have shootings, Australia, and they'll say, well, we really got to control guns and these white people and the guns. And the black shootings and crime is something crazy, like 3,000 times more. Where was that? Something like 3,000 times more an issue. And nobody wants to say anything. Why? It's this prevailing spiritual malady. Racism, the belief in racism. Jesse's been trying to say decades, no such thing as racism. It does not exist. We're believing in this, and it affects society in a deep way. They let out criminals. It's like we live in an upside down world because of it. So it remains a topic, folks. And look, just throw off colonization. When was should we even chat GPT some of this? Because my first question, like simple questions. I swear, like what African when was the last? What was the last nation in Africa that was, I don't know, that had colonization? Is that a right question? Like when did the last white ships leave? The last African country to gain independence from colonization was Zimbabwe. Officially became independent in 1980. Yeah, give me a timeline, sure. Chat Jippity. Mozambique, 1975. 1977. These are all pretty recent. Mozambique, Angola, Comoros, Cape Verde, Sao Tome, Djibouti, Zimbabwe, Namibia. Give them a chance. They've barely decolonized. Look, if decolonization means we're going to be independent and awesome, that's great. If decolonization means we hate white people, we're done with apartheid, then guess what? You're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a crappy country still. And you're going to beg for the white people back. That's how that's going to go. That's probably why that's happening, in my opinion. That's why you got those videos out of South Africa. Because what did decolonization mean? Those are just words. What do you mean? What's the meaning? If decolonization means we're going to be independent, we love you though. Yeah, and it has to be like that. You got to be like, I love you, chill. We're chill. Put her there. Maybe we can work things out. I mean, maybe we can work on projects together. But if that's what decolonization means, I think you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great country. Decolonization means we're so finally we killed the white man. We're done with apartheid, and that's like the whole basis. That's a house built on sand. You're gonna be begging for the white people back in no time, and that is what's happening in some cases. So I'm learning now. Some of these are very recent. 1975. You barely. It matters now what that meant. Now, what are some older ones? I mean, I'm sure you've had. Those are just 10. Those are just 8. What's the oldest nation that decolonized? What's the oldest of these nations? The oldest nation to decolonize is Libya. That's Africa? That sounds sandy to me. Like Palestinian, Libyan, Syrian. Oh, yeah, that is Africa. North Africa. You know, it's a diverse country. But people love to say this to me, that how diverse Africa is. So, you know, when people get mad and I say, well, the Egyptians, the Libyans, that doesn't necessarily mean like the African blacks, other African blacks, you know, sub-Saharan blacks, Sudanese, Nigerians, right? Like, oh, come on, Nick, those are Africans. It's like, but I swear, just yesterday, y'all were trying to tell me it's super diverse. I agree. Africa is very diverse. Different peoples. But I wonder if that's what they mean when they say, but even Libya, isn't that like, I don't know much about Libya, but they got buildings, right? Look at those buildings. Right? Libya. Right? See? What's the last African... Okay, how about sub-Saharan African nation? The first sub-Saharan African nation to decolonize was Ghana. So when was that? 1957? These are all babies. These are all baby nations. Hey, by the way, Africans, I don't mean to be rude, but when China's a really young country too. China as we know it. China as we know it, established in 1912. The proclamation of the People's Republic was in 1949. So to the decolonization crew, didn't China get hit hard after those wars and stuff? Like big time. Like they were enemy numero uno. I think they got a lot taken from them. I could be wrong here, but you know, in the same way the colonizers took from these nations. Last I heard, China is like the second biggest, the big number 2 competitor in the world. You want to tell me what China did? China, 1949, Proclamation of the People's Republic. These are baby countries. I know some of you are confused, like, how is this a baby country? China, so ancient. I mean, so are those African peoples, right? We're all ancient. We're all ancient. We're all ancient peoples. Whatever. Right? I'm sure there were Ghanaians before Ghana, but the countries, as we know it, decolonized in the 50s in some cases, the 70s. And China, in a similar way, became a country in 1912. So what did they do? Someone want to tell me that? I want to go to Shanghai. Anchor Baby in Shanghai. We could film that. Live stream it. I just want to see it. I just want to see it. The China civilization never stopped. Right. Like, was there a civilization that never stopped in Ghana? I bet you to some degree. Or maybe not. Maybe this is where it's like, no, Nick, the facts are insane. So, yeah. Thank you, ChatGPT. That's somewhat interesting. That's somewhat interesting, ChatGPT. I appreciate that. Chad is not full of alphas, evidently. You mean Chad, Africa? Imagine being from Chad. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate it, Tedo. It says, Ronnie definitely has the spirit of his mama. You guys love the back, you know, I let you guys throw salvos at each other. I mean, look, I try and keep it chill. You know, it's cannonballs across the bow in the super chats. But it's like a pernicious, pervasive attitude, which let's feel bad for people. Let me not. It's not that you should expect stuff of people. There's an evil way of doing that. But how about what you expect of yourself? Which, again, we judge ourselves, and that's a stupid thing. But if you have some sort of standard for yourself, and you just like ignore it in others, yet want to like make excuses for their life, then you just entered phony territory. If you're like, I wouldn't steal, I wouldn't lie, I wouldn't blame, I'd work hard for myself, and if I didn't work, I wouldn't eat. But then you don't have that for others, and then justify their behavior, why they're not working and eating, etc. That's phony territory. You just entered it. Jafumi, thank you so much for the coffees. Lori, awesome. Thank you for showing love and appreciation. I do appreciate it. Lori in the buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, rumble.com/anchorbaby for all the support. I mean, rumble.com/AmericanAnchorBaby for all the support. And Punchy.tv. Last few minutes of the show. How did time fly? Chinaman knit. Ghana is built up. The Ghanaian food. Why you put heg in my food? America's just a teenager compared to other nations. R.I.P. Gaddafi, Chad King. Amazing. That's not even a real picture of the earth. Did you know Moors were not black per capita? That's something I'm just hearing in the chat. Information may be true or false. Opinions expressed by callers and hosts and otherwise don't necessarily represent those of Jesse Lee Peterson and the Bond Network. or Bond specific. Recolonization, not decolonization. We need you back. We need them back. Society. Amazing. Thank you, chat. Appreciate all the comments. You're always there, leaving a little likes, doing your thing. Don't be rude. Don't be not leaving likes. You're coming in here like you're not, like we don't see you not doing that. But you've been chatting away all through the show. It sure helps, leaving comments and all that. I do appreciate it. Thanks for showing decorum and clicking the like button. Amazing. I mean, we got into pretty much... we got into a number of things. Didn't really get into the Rob Reiner death and the shootings, the details. Didn't really get into them. Amazing. So we're going to just have to get into some of this tomorrow. I hope you join me for some more American Anchor Baby on a fine Tuesday. For now, take care. I shall see you around. As always, a pleasure. See you tomorrow.